just you and me forever.
Do you take this woman as your lawful wedded wife?
Ooh, yeah! Oh,
Place the ring on her finger and repeat after me. With this ring,
no. With this ring,
I thee wed.
I thee wed.
Hello, and welcome to With This Ring, episode 68. I'm your co-host, Ryan Everett.
I'm Cindy Everett.
And today we will be going over Judgment Day 2000, the May 2000 installment of the first Judgment.
Start that over.
Judgment Day, and yeah.
No, you don't have to start over recording. I wanted to say that sentence again.
So the first Judgment Day in May.
Okay.
It's not the first Judgment Day period, though.
Got it.
There was a pay-per-view in October of 1998.
Okay.
Undertaker versus Kane, but then in May of 1999, they had Over the Edge with Owen Hart.
Oh,
so they wanted to get away from that name
Gotcha.
of the event. So that's why they made the change, and it's kind of a always apropos, biblical.
Yeah, it's
name.
not really. It's kind of season neutral.
Yeah.
You don't know when.
Yeah,
the
Judgment Day is
coming.
not necessarily in October.
It's supposed to be December 20th, 2012, right?
Yes.
A couple different times.
A couple times, but that was the latest.
Wasn't there another
Big
time
worry.
around the time Macho Man died? There was supposed
Yes,
to be a
that
rupture?
was May 19th, I think.
Oh.
Or May 21st, 2011?
Yes, it was 2011.
Yes. So yeah, that
are
was...
we due for another rupture?
Yeah, it's coming. I mean, it
Okay.
depends, you know.
A little different nowadays.
Yeah.
Well, not really, but...
There's real raptures to worry about. So this... Now, when we last left Backlash, we had seen Earl Hebner get assaulted by
Yes.
Triple H. So that was... We did that last time around?
Right.
Okay.
I remember that, yeah.
Just making sure that... Sometimes if it's the last week or the week before.
Gotcha.
So, nothing really changed from then.
Okay.
The big thing was still Rock Triple H. And Triple H now wanted his rematch. And he made the match stipulation would be a Iron Man match.
Yep.
Which is an hour long. Most pinfalls, submissions, countouts, DQs, wins.
In an hour.
Yes. In an hour.
DQs.
Disqualification.
Yeah, but how does the DQ get you a point?
Well, it would give you your...
Oh, your point of point.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Okay, like if someone runs out or...
Yeah.
Gotcha. No.
We actually see it.
I was going to say, yeah, there's a...
And it actually
whole
makes
different
sense
logic
psychology, yeah.
there's a whole separate way of thinking.
Yep. And then also, Chris Benoit and Chris Jericho are still feuding. Chris Jericho beat Chris Benoit on that SmackDown
That's right.
to win the Intercontinental Title, so Chris Benoit won it back on Raw the next week.
Yeah, I don't think we watched a ton of pre things. So we talked about when they announced the Iron Man match. Tell me, how did Brisco become the hardcore champion?
Yeah, so that just happened randomly the SmackDown before this.
Why? Do you know why?
Just, it ends up paying off in June, which is
okay.
one of the worst things on pay-per-view, so that'll be good to see. But, so here, though, it's just kind of like they wanted to do something with the Stooges, it seems like, and because they had done a couple
out of it for a while.
They came back in the fold in Backlash,
right?
I think. So this was just kind of something for them to do on the side,
okay?
Because they'd really been milking the 24/7 thing on Raw. There was one time when some Baltimore Ravens players tried to get a pinfall. I think Jonathan Ogden almost got the hardcore title. And then one of the Godfather's hoes actually did win the hardcore title.
Good for her.
And then got rolled up again right away.
Really?
Lost it. So,
well, she could say she...
So now the Acolytes...
It's like Benjamin Harrison, or William Henry Harrison, you're president for 9 days.
Yep.
Still counts.
Still counts.
She's still the hardcore champion.
So then Crash Holly paid off the Acolytes to watch him for like an hour.
Right. Okay.
And he fell asleep. But after the hour was off, the Acolytes were like, well, we're out of here. So Gerald Brisco sneaks up on him while he's sleeping.
Gotcha.
And it's pretty funny how when he wins, Jerry Lawler's even like whispering doing the play-by-play. Like it will affect anything.
Yeah, well.
Jerry Lawler's not.
He's very in the moment.
Yes, exactly. And then, so we had seen
Shawn Michaels is back. Sorry,
yes,
that's
yes,
the other thing I read for my pre-show notes.
Shawn Michaels is announced the week before as the guest referee.
And I forget, he was injured or he was in rehab or just kind of
he was still injured here. I think this was right after he had actually had his back surgery.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, he was still, everyone assumed, retired.
Right. This is like a weird little interlude where he's not really around, Steve Austin really isn't around.
Right.
Kind of, I guess you're kind of dining out on The Rock and Triple H.
Yeah, that's really
The
the
Rock can
two
just carry it. So.
Yeah, they've both actually stepped up definitely to where they need to be. And then, so yeah, that's kind of where we were. I mean, there's kind of the big faction of the McMahons and their ilk versus the baby faces of like Rikishi, Too Cool, the Dudleys. Big Show's part of that feud
it's kind of a motley crew.
Yeah.
But so it goes. Yeah, now that McFoley's gone, it's like they don't have.
Yeah, they don't have
like a big. And Edge and Christian are they part of the faces or the
their own thing? They're more of the heels, and they've kind of over the past month since we last saw them, they've kind of been developing their act more totally heels now. And they every crowd they go to, they give them a 5-second pose.
Oh,
so everyone can take their picture because they're so great.
Yes. Oh, I didn't think of my notes about Joe C.
Oh. We'll get to little Joe C later.
Yeah. Oh man, what an oversight. That wasn't on the pay-per-view though. That was after. That's why. Well, I was so into that Joe C. I didn't take any notes on it. All right.
So the opener of the show. So May 21st, I want to say.
I'm just laughing thinking about the music video for Cowboys, which everybody should go watch again.
Yes. For a random Gary Coleman.
Oh, I just gave it away.
Well,
there is a cameo for. Anyways.
So May 21st, 2000, from Louisville, Kentucky.
Yep.
So nice, good arena, good wrestling history.
Yep.
So we get Team ECK, as they're starting to be known, Edge, Christian, and Kurt Angle.
Okay, interesting.
And they've been bonding in like backstage skits also, becoming good friends. Kurt Angle is friends with wants to show everyone his nice Canadian friends.
Okay, fair.
Yeah, and then against Too Cool and Rikishi.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of interesting to see Edge and Christian start, but I guess they've been higher up on the card.
Yeah. But I think, sometimes it's an opener to pump the crowd up.
I did say it was a good starter, which is true.
I think this was, out of the rest of the show, I would say this is probably the best match to start with.
Yeah.
Because it's quick, high pace.
Right. Too Cool has to win so they can dance.
Yes.
It's kind of like they're very over.
Yes, they are very over. Like, probably third most act, I would say. After Rock and Jericho, I think they're getting the biggest pops.
Yeah, probably. But, good for them. I feel like they didn't really stand the test of time.
No, they don't. They're a comet that burns out quickly. But for that time, they're burning bright.
They're burning very brightly. Okay, that's fair. Yeah, I did say it was a good starter. Because this next one was a little interesting. It was okay. Yeah,
so this one so the Radicals had entered, and they never really broke up. They just kind of started doing their own thing.
Yeah.
And then, especially Eddie Guerrero with becoming the European champion.
Right.
Getting his Mamacita.
Right. Getting his new caricature.
Yeah, and over the weeks he even is doing it more and more, like.
Yeah. Yeah.
The cheesy skits and stuff. So Malenko and Saturn want to fight him for the European title. Mm-hmm. And this is just after Eddie had started giving his Mamacita roses. So, good triple threat match, I thought.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, these three guys, especially Eddie and Dean, had fought a lot with each other, so they knew how to work it. And then Saturn was pretty good at this point.
He does a little of the luchador. He did like a Hurricane Rana and a couple other spins. But yeah, they're good. But China had a metal pipe in her roses.
The roses actually had a metal pipe in them, and she hits, I think it's Dean Malenko with them, and Eddie rolls them up for the win.
Yeah. I mean, I know she wasn't like supposed to be like a lighthearted character when she was in DX, but she just seems so much happier.
Yes.
To not have to be out there like scowling the whole time.
Yeah.
So, good for them. So Eddie retains his championship.
Yep, Eddie, Latino heat burns on, and keeps getting, and now he's fully face. Like, he was kind of a face the month before, but not fully, and now he's a full face though now. Mm-hmm. So then we got Shane McMahon against the Big Show.
Yep. Oh,
so
this one was stupid.
This is a no holds barred match.
Yes.
To make sure that everything that happened that needed to happen.
Right.
And in the weeks leading up to this, it was pretty cool. The Big Show picked up Shane McMahon and threw him into the big WWF.com.
Oh, yeah.
Sign on the Titantron, which was pretty impressive and looked like it hurt. I mean, it was probably like styrofoam, but still.
Getting launched by Big Show and falling to the ground.
So, yeah, this is quite the fight. Again, with Shane McMahon just getting destroyed.
Before that, I had a little interlude where Briscoe's in the back.
Oh, yes.
Just being paranoid.
Yes, Briscoe's now paranoid that everyone in the hallway is out to get him for the hardcore title.
Not wrong.
So yeah, he drops all the drinks that he got for the
That's right.
The McMahon Helmsleys.
Oh, is that what he was doing?
Yeah, I think so.
Gotcha. Yeah, sorry, Big Show Shane. I said no DQ, so lots of people run out.
Yes.
I said dumb stuff with the scaffolding. I don't remember what that was.
Yeah, so I think first we get TNA.
Yep.
With Trish Stratus,
obviously,
who gets thrown out. And then Bull Buchanan also comes out again, I think. Yeah, and Shane started... First he started like climbing up the scaffolding and couldn't quite get away. And then they get the Big Show knocked down, and Shane McMahon knocks the speaker over on his leg to keep him down. And then, even though the Big Show can't get up, Shane McMahon goes and gets a cinder block.
Quote unquote cinder block. I had that part. I remember that.
You know, those breakable cinder blocks you can always find.
Crumbled,
yeah, he hits it and it's a styrofoam.
Or something. Yeah, styrofoam.
Yeah, and it's pretty comical. They probably should have just had it been like a chair shot or something.
Yeah.
I mean, that's when sometimes the sledgehammers I always thought was kind of goofy also, but a breaking cinder block is even.
It's like, come on, worse. How dumb do you think that's?
They actually did it even worse in 2014, where
really?
They unveiled a stack of concrete blocks, and Seth Rollins gave Randy Orton a curb stomp through them.
Oof.
So, and somehow Randy Orton wasn't
still
dead.
Alive. Yeah, his face, all his teeth are intact.
Yes.
Face isn't smashed. That's amazing.
Yeah, he's very tough.
So that cinder block company probably got terrible reviews.
I dropped it and it cracked into a million pieces.
I dropped on Big Show's head and it crumbled.
So yeah, this match, I mean, it's okay. It's what it is. It's a garbage brawl.
Right.
And it is meant to write out the Big Show for a few months.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah, I think he needed minor knee surgery.
Yeah, looking at the recap you have on your computer screen now, I guess it's only 6 matches because the last one is about 4 matches.
Right. Yeah. None of the other matches are even... Like, the next one is... Well, I guess they're all about 10 minutes almost.
Until the one that's...
Right, until the main event. Yep. So, next we have Chris Benoit successfully defending, again, his Intercontinental title against Chris Jericho, and this is in a submission match.
Yeah. So maybe that was a little slower because submissions you have to get the
work for them. And they were both kind of working over a body part. So.
Right. Yeah, that's not like my favorite style match.
Right.
It's just it's not that fun to watch, in my opinion.
Yeah, I know. I'm aware of that. That's why we'll get talking about other Iron Man matches then. I have a feeling how you feel about one of them.
Oh, no, there's an Iron Man submission match coming up?
No.
Oh. That would not be the big, 2 elements I don't really enjoy.
So then next we get DX, Road Dogg and X-Pac, who for some reason I still thought of as almost main eventers.
Yeah.
Where they're portrayed against the Dudley Boys.
Yeah, they're done. They're has-beens.
Yeah, and I mean the Dudley Boys are super over.
Yeah.
And so they do a tables match, and they do the thing where the Dudleys win, but both the referees knocked out.
Right.
So then the Dudleys get put through a table, and Road Dogg and X-Pac are declared the winners.
Right, and Brisco comes running out.
Yeah, Brisco gets involved here because...
To do what exactly? I don't really know.
I think he gets knocked out
through a table, but he didn't I don't think he influenced the outcome of the match.
I think he kind of just distracted the Dudleys long enough for them for the X-Pac and Road Dogg to win, and then the Dudleys put him through the table afterwards.
That's right.
To still get the crowd happy.
Felt unnecessary.
Yeah, it could have been.
So who are the writers at this point?
It was kind of guys they just hired in 1990, end of 99, including Brian Gewirtz, who is still, like, he's The Rock's, like, personal writer.
Oh, really? I guess I saw a book on there.
Yeah.
What's his last name?
Gewirtz.
Okay. Oh, yeah, that book's upstairs in our bedroom.
Yeah. So, yeah, so he was, like, pretty big for a while. Like, he eventually became the head writer of Raw. While Paul Heyman was one of the head writers of SmackDown.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but that's later.
Okay.
Than here. But yeah, so it's just a couple of guys that had done, like, scripts for lowly rated TV shows that we don't remember from 1998.
Gotcha. Yep, so then the Dudleys win. Oh, and all the time they've been kind of teasing these weird little commercials.
Yes, there's been weird commercials.
These 3 girls hanging out at, like, an insane asylum or something. Or
I thought it was like an incinerator furnace.
Toxic, yeah,
like
toxic, yeah.
Kind of like a Freddy Krueger analogy.
I never saw Freddy Krueger. That shouldn't surprise you.
Yeah, I'm not real surprised. But yeah, I mean, it's just kind of, freaky creepy vibes.
I mean, it really wasn't that freaky.
Well, yeah.
But, whatever. But, like, then when no one knew what it meant.
Right. So, Triple H even tells the McMahons to stay back for the Judgment, for the big Iron Man match.
A big deal. Like, Shawn Michaels comes out in these little booty shorts.
Yes, in his booty shorts to really sell the seriousness of the moment.
Yes, he's got his... It wasn't full Ken Shamrock because the shirt was baggy, but it was definitely the tight little black booty shorts.
Well, Shawn Michaels is always a fan of wearing the booty shorts to show off.
That's true. He does enjoy that. And he did his whole little spiel.
Yep.
Well, yeah, they really drew this out.
And they had even drawn out, like, earlier in the night, Triple H talking to Shawn Michaels.
That's right.
Asking him about his kid and stuff. And then Shawn Michaels goes into the locker room with The Rock to talk to him. So they're really making it out like, will he be a fair referee? Because they bring up the SmackDown where he ended up super kicking The Rock to help Triple H win. So there's some questions about his
impartiality.
Yes.
Yep.
So it is the Iron Man match. It goes 60 minutes. It is, so real quick, The Rock wins the first fall.
Yeah, slow down. You gotta pace yourself. This is going to be like a 15-minute episode.
It is, yeah. That's true.
Yeah, but no, just, so I guess, how do they know when to, like, start ramping up the drama? I guess, do they have a clock they can see?
Yeah, this one definitely had, like, the clock.
Okay.
On it. Like, even in the arena they had
it.
They had it on, like, they would have for a basketball game, basically.
Okay. Okay, so they kind of knew.
Like, yeah, and they kind of, I'm sure they knew, like, all right, 10 minutes in, we'll hit the rack bottom, get the first pinfall.
Right.
Then, I mean...
That's a lot of airtime to fill, I can imagine. It's like a full-on performance.
Yeah.
You definitely start slow, which...
Well, it says in the beginning, like, they will lose 9 pounds of sweat.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh, that sounds like a good, like, pitch for a workout class.
I mean, think of, like, how boxing is a workout, and...
That's true.
Some of what they're doing here is... more than boxing.
Right,
so.
And you're like lifting and throwing people around.
They're walking around the arena at one point.
Yeah, well, I could do that. I could walk around
the arena. Well, yeah, but it's involved more than just what... They're doing a lot of movement.
Okay.
That's what I'm getting across.
All right. And Shawn Michaels' shorts start riding up his butt so that you can't even see him. It's just like wearing
he's
shirt.
really tightly strong.
Yeah. So Triple H goes up 2-1, and then it was kind of, not surprisingly, I knew it was going to kind of have a couple lead changes.
Yeah, so
a little bit of an acceleration.
Rock Bottom wins the first fall, then a pedigree by Triple H, and then right after that, I liked how he got the inside cradle.
Yeah.
So to go up 2-1 like you said, and then he hits a pile driver, goes up 3-1.
I did not write down every single...
Well, I'm just reading it off Wikipedia.
Okay.
I did not have them memorized.
I thought you had them memorized.
No. I knew the first one was definitely a Rock Bottom.
Let me scoot over so I can see your screen. Yeah. I was impressed. I was like, I know you remember a lot of wrestling stuff. Okay, so Pitfall after the... Wait, how's this?
Pinfall after a Rock Bottom.
Okay. Gotcha.
So, yeah. So then The Rock gets a pinfall with a DDT to... kind of tight.
So Triple H got disqualified for the chair.
Yeah, so Triple H uses the chair and gets disqualified, but then right away picks up pinfall because The Rock's still out of it. And the psychology is he'll give up the fall for the DQ because he's going to get more. He's going to get the pinfall right away, and the amount of damage he does with the chair is going to make it worth it.
Right. Oh, I gotcha.
So then The Rock gets put in the sleeper and goes out. So again, it's kind of working off the Triple H's chair
most
shit,
of this happens in the last third, right?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah,
6
3 to 2 going
third.
into the last 20 minutes.
Yeah. Not surprisingly.
Right. That's what
you're right. Like 10 minutes in, and then pick up the pace.
Yeah, it's kind of 10 minutes in was just kind of to liven up the crowd and keep them
otherwise
involved.
Go to the bathroom.
Yeah,
concessions.
So and right away, so then they go outside and Triple H gets pedigreed on the table by The Rock. Mm-hmm. So that makes it 5-4. Triple H comes in, Rock gets the people's elbow to make it 5-5, and they had announced beforehand there would be no draw.
That's right.
Or if there's a draw, The Rock wins.
That's right. No
sudden death, which there was the first time they had an Iron Man
No triple
match.
overtime.
Right. Yeah, sudden death where you have to be knocked down. So then, so that Rock gets the pinfall to tie it up at 57-59, and then right away Shawn Michaels gets knocked down.
Yep.
All the McMahons and DX come running out, and then the creepy video starts playing again.
Yeah, what's it gonna be?
And
who is it?
American Badass by Kid Rock hits, and outrides the Undertaker
on his motorcycle. So this is his short-lived grunge era or whatever.
The American Badass era, as it's known. So yeah, he had left in September, and so he'd been gone about 9 months.
Okay.
So
what were the terms when he left?
It was just kind of, I think they said a groin injury, but they kind of said nagging injuries also.
Oh yeah,
just needed some time off to recharge and.
Right.
Yeah, he had been going pretty hard since '94 was the last time he took extended time off.
Yeah.
So he got that, and then came back here, and they'd kind of been doing it right before he left, where he'd kind of been more biker-y and wearing the jean jacket and the bandanas backstage.
Yeah, that's true.
So now he's doing that all the time.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and comes out in his motorcycle, his beautiful Titan motorcycle, as they'll always call it.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, and
so that's not the last time I'm going to see that motorcycle.
Oh no, it'll be around. And then he goes in and just destroys DX. Hits a tombstone on Triple H. Hits a chokeslam on Vince. Vince tries to do a little walk away at one point, which is pretty good.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then so Undertaker gives him the tombstone. The bell rings, and then Shawn Michaels is signaling for the bell. And then some confusion for a minute or two, and then they announce that Shawn Michaels disqualified The Rock for the outside interference of The Undertaker because he didn't see DX interfere. Uh-huh. And
so he assumes that The Undertaker is affiliated with The Rock? Why would
even if he's not affiliated with him, he hit Triple H with the tombstone.
Gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense.
Even if they're not connected, it's still illegal.
Gotcha.
So that gives Triple H the 6th and deciding fall for the win.
Gotcha. Yeah, this is kind of a tough format. An hour-long match because you can't really start too hard, but then you kind of lost me.
And I will say this is, up to this point, definitely the better of the big 2 Iron Man matches on WWE. The first was WrestleMania 12, and it's Bret Hart versus Shawn Michaels.
Oh.
But it is, for one thing, it ends 0-0.
Oh, do we watch this?
Yes, probably.
Yeah, I think we did watch this.
It's one of those matches that is technically fine, but I never want to watch it again.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds familiar. I remember being disappointed.
Yeah, because they work just submission holds for the first half hour.
I wonder if I search my Apple Notes for Iron Man, if it comes up.
Yeah, it should be in there. We definitely did watch it for one of them.
Suggested Iron Man match. Oh, it's just this one. When I typed iron, I get some Iron Sheik and a Brandon Iron. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know if my phone's keeping. It was probably before I had this phone.
Yeah, that's true.
Whatever.
So anyways, though, we had watched that, and it's a lot of sitting in holds. Until the last 20 minutes, they kind of pick it up a little bit. Mm-hmm. But that's where this match is definitely more action, though. That's why they did the pinfall 10 minutes in to kind of get it known that there's going to be falls in this one.
Gotcha. Sorry, now I'm looking at our Shawn Michaels. This is a good part one. Shawn Michaels part one. Did the Hart Foundation, Randy Savage, the ladder match.
Oh yeah.
Let's look at Shawn Michaels part two.
That's probably that's all after he came back.
Yeah, that was a little bit of a different era.
Yeah.
Oh, Hulk Hogan.
The Hulk Hogan match.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm getting distracted, but yeah, more things change, the more they stay the same.
Yeah. So a very good Iron Man match. I think they needed something different for these two guys to have, and this was a good thing to try it with.
They could do like a half marathon match, like a half hour time limit.
They have done that more recently.
Yeah, like I said, I think the hours, it's just a long time to wrestle when you can't really go all out.
And especially when, at a time when they didn't need to these guys are going to be the main event. They don't need to eat up an hour, though.
Right.
They could have had other matches on the show and stuff.
Yeah, what about Val Venus?
Well, Val Venus kind of fallen by the wayside ever since.
I know.
His great participation as referee in that.
And no women's match, not like those early.
Yeah, at this time it was pretty much just Kat versus Terry.
Right.
Stephanie McMahon's the reigning women's champion,
Obviously.
of course, which isn't getting defended too often.
Right.
So, yeah. So, how would you rank this against the Rock Triple H match at Backlash?
Let me look at my notes for that one.
I actually...
Oh, and Shane was the referee?
Yeah.
I like the Iron Man match, I actually think better. What about you?
I think I used to like the Iron Man match, but I think I kind of have a new appreciation for the Backlash.
Why is that?
Just it's so crazy and everything blows off.
That's true. Steve Austin finally.
Yeah, it kind of cheapens it that a month later they're still having the same match.
Yeah.
It kind of seemed like that should have been a moment for Triple H to not go away, just go down for a little bit, but they didn't really have any heels also that could step up, so
Gotcha.
It makes sense. So I'm assuming your best match for the show is Triple H?
Yes.
Rock? Yeah, mine as well.
I think you're right. I think the second one has to be the starter. There's only 6, so it's, a third. We're deciding a third of the show. Or top 2.
So the 6-man?
Yeah. But, like I said, the submission was kind of slow. The table match was kind of blah. I like Latino Hate, but I think overall the first one was better. What about you?
I'm going to go with the submission match.
Oh, the Benoit Jericho.
The Benoit Jericho, yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, it's not great to talk about, but
no.
anytime these two fight, they're usually...
Did you do their match, the other one too? You did do...
Yeah, Backlash.
Yeah. I said the hardcore 6-pack match. I don't remember that one already.
With the Hardys flying off the...
Oh, yeah.
The hooks.
That was good. That was fun. I stand by that choice. I have different criteria than you, I think.
All right, so what would you say for Judgment Day?
Was this better or I'd say it a 7. I think it was slightly better than Backlash.
Yeah, Judgment Day doesn't have any real low spots.
Well, it's not that many matches.
Right, so but they all hit.
Okay, well.
If one of them was bad, it'd stick out more than
That's true.
when there's one bad on. I'm going to give it an 8.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, and then after Judgment Day, we watched a Raw from the next week. It was Memorial Day, which they're celebrating in Vancouver, British Columbia, of course.
Obviously, yes.
And
Canada does have their own Memorial Day, right?
I think so.
It's not.
I think they have Remembrance Day.
That sounds right.
I'm not sure exactly when that is.
Nope, couldn't tell you.
But anyways,
But they were in Canada for
Memorial Day, and the big guest star that they had was the American Badass, Kid Rock, as he performs it live.
Did we watch any of those clips?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
So also, since Kid Rock is there, Joe C is here.
His hype man. His
little friend. And amazingly, you had never seen Joe C before, or heard of him.
Did not. Joe C was not in my consciousness in 2000.
Really
I knew who Kid Rock was. He was
right,
popular
but I didn't know in 2000 you could know Kid Rock without Joe
For you, they're so inextricably linked.
They're two of yeah.
Well, I wasn't watching.
They were a combo.
I wasn't watching WWE, so I didn't see.
I didn't even see him on like MTV and stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe I saw him, just forgot.
Yeah.
Although he's pretty memorable.
Yes. So
was he like on TRL
he was
or something, or is he at the Spring Break House?
Yeah, he was probably on like. There's definitely a Bow with the Bow on like Spring Break '99. That
sounds about right.
Like all the topless women, come, like all the digitized boobs are on the screen and stuff. Joe C's there, just living it up.
Of course he is. Yeah.
Joe C even made it as a guest voice on The Simpsons.
Really?
Yeah.
Good for him.
Yeah.
I didn't want to
a lot into it.
I was going to say, yeah, good for him. Really lived it to the fullest.
Yep. So he was always like a big WWF fan.
Right.
And he showed up. They actually had a special on MTV in March, and he shows up there also. Joe C shows up like.
Oh,
like the whole thing is
WWE special.
Yeah, it's a WWE special, and it's like just music videos set to like video packages of the matches for WrestleMania set to like current music.
Okay.
But in between all the videos, it's Joe C walking around the arena trying to find Too Cool and Rikishi, and then he gets attacked by the Dudleys. But then Too Cool and Rikishi come out and save him, and they dance, and everyone's happy.
Well, they danced in this one too.
Yeah, Joe C's.
You kind of have to.
Yeah, you got Joe C out there. He's going to dance.
Not very coordinated.
Well,
that's okay. I know.
That's not his job.
I know.
So he comes out. Gives first Edge and Christian run into him.
Right, and they're like calling him.
They keep thinking he's Mini-Me.
He's Vern Troyer.
Yes.
Not the same.
And then he swears at them.
Yeah.
And then
they want to do a 5-second pose.
Yeah, they want to do a 5-second pose with him, and then they do it in the ring where they get on their hands and knees.
Right.
And then it's Too Cool versus Edge and Christian, just the normal back and forth match, and then Joe C comes out with the hockey stick.
That's right.
It's Canada, and it's Edge in the nuts with the hockey stick,
yes.
and then Too Cool shockingly wins the tag titles.
Yeah, in Canada.
Yeah, and this was like, I mean, when they had come back in like November of '99, they were not going to be a team that was pushed for like tag titles.
Right.
They have definitely overshot their expectations of like low card tag team to rightful tag champs. I mean,
well, like I said, I feel like this green furry hat you guys got from the Sox game, it's very Scotty too hotty.
You gotta cut the top off though.
And stick my hair up?
Yeah.
Well, we're not on YouTube.
Yeah, that's true.
So people can't see the green hat I'm wearing.
Yeah, when we launch our Patreon.
Oh, I don't think that's happening.
So, Joe C helps them win the tag titles and then gets to dance with them is what he really wanted.
Yeah.
And then, Kid Rock performs.
Yep.
Doing American Badass because it's the Undertaker song now, even though anything we watch on the network, the cock won't have it, but...
I think that's why I didn't remember it.
Maybe, yeah. Yeah, because we had to watch the YouTube version.
Then we started watching Kid Rock.
Joe C, Kid Rock videos featuring Joe C.
Yeah. Like that song Cowboy, not that good.
No.
I guess it kind of sums up all the songs.
Yeah, I mean, I liked American Badass. I bought the CD.
Oh.
Probably because it was featured on wrestling, but...
Yeah, well, marketing works sometimes.
Yep. No, I mean, getting Kid Rock at this time, he was, like, super popular. It wasn't like...
That's true.
Some has-been or...
Like a fringe.
No, he was
not like Kid Rock.
He was number one on TRL with or without The Undertaker's theme music. Like
fair. Yeah.
He was pretty big time.
Gotcha. I agree with that.
So, yeah.
And then, so what's next?
So, next June, we'll be entering King of the Ring season.
Oh.
So, and this is a year they finally... took advantage of their talent, and they have a full 32-man tournament.
Oh.
Well, sorry, 32-person. So I'm sure you can figure out one person who's...
Trish?
No.
Kitty?
No.
Woola?
A woman who's been involved in it already.
Oh. Mae Young?
No, Mamacita.
Mamacita. Oh, okay.
Yes. So she was in it last year, so she'll be
that's right.
eligible. And I mean, some of the matches are like 2-minute squashes on
Right.
SmackDown or Heat, so I don't know if we'll watch all of them, but...
Okay.
At least the second round on, I think we could.
Well, I think a little bracket.
Yeah, there's that.
Which ones are going to be at the actual pay-per-view then?
So then they'll have the final 8.
Gotcha.
So it'll be
quarterfinals,
quarterfinals, semifinals, finals.
Gotcha.
So 7 tournament matches total and other shenanigans that will
Of course,
be afoot.
shenanigans abound.
Yes.
Interesting. Oh, good. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yep.
All right.
All right. Until next time.
See you later.
We'll see ya.
As I lay me down to sleep, I pray my soul is mine to keep. My soul and never step outside this bed, never into all the evil. Now back from the dead.
Are you scared?
American badass, watch me kick. You can roll with rock or you can suck my dick. I'm a porno flick, I'm like Amazing Grace. I'm gonna fuck some hoes after I rock this place. Super fly, living double wide, sidecar my glide so Josie can ride. Full sack to share, bringing flash and flare. Got the long hair, swinging middle finger in the air. Snakeskin suit, 65 Chevelle. See me ride and sit, hear the rebel yell. I won't live to tell, so if you do, give the next generation a big fuck you. Who knew I'd blow a black punk walk over? Said fuck high school, pissed on my diploma. Smell the aroma, check my hits. I know it stinks in here, cause I'm the shit. Shit, 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 shit. They call me cowboy, I'm a singer with black. So throw a finger in the air, let me see where you're at and say, hey, hey. Let me hear where you're at and say, hey, hey. I'm giving it back, so say, hey, hey. Show me some metal and say, hey, 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 hey. I'm a cowboy, badass and black, singing, hey, 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 hey. From side to side, from front to back, say, hey, 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 hey. I put Detroit City back on the map for singing, hey, 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 hey. Kick rocks in the house and that's where I'm at. Devil without a cause, and I'm back with the beaver hats and Ben Davis slacks. 30-pack of strolls, 30-pack of hoes. No Rogaine in the propane flows. The chosen one, I'm the living proof with the gift of gab from the city of truth. I jabbed and stabbed and knocked critics back, and I did not stutter when I said that. I'm going platinum, selling rhymes. I went platinum 7 times. And still they're ill and wanna see us ride. I guess because only God knows why. They call me cowboy, I'm a singer in black. So throw a finger in the air, let me see where you're at and say, hey, hey. Let me hear where you're at and say, hey, hey. I'm giving it back, so say, hey, hey. Show me some metal and say, hey, 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 hey. Fuck all y'all. I like AC/DC and ZZ Top. Josephus Beasties and the Kings on rock. Skinner, Seeger, Limp, Corn, the Stones. David Allen Cole with No Show Jones. Yeah! Pass that bottle around. Got the rock from Detroit, soul from Motown, the underground stone. Fucking pimp with tracks that Mac and slap back the whack. Never gain away, I don't play with ass. But watch me rock with Liberace Flash. Punk rock the class, boy bands are trash. I like Johnny Cash and Grandmaster Flash. Flash, 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 flash. They call me cowboy, I'm a singer in black. So throw a finger in the air, let me see where you're at and say, hey, hey. Let me hear where you're at and say, hey, hey. I'm giving it back, so say, hey, hey. Show me some metal and say, hey, 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 hey.
Yeah, I saw your band jumping around on stage like a bunch of wounded ducks. When you gonna learn, sucker? You just can't fuck with.